Good evening and welcome to myGSPN Live. As always, you're here with your host, Robert Brown.
And Jose Rodriguez.
And a very exciting show. Again, this is Pro Wednesday. If you're tuning in from our first show we had today. Again, our sponsor is GardenandGrocery.com. If you're in the Orlando area, Walt Disney Resort area, want to save time, money, energy, go to www.GardenandGrocery.com. Let us get everything you have, get an order, all your grocery needs, snacks, drinks. Let us get it for you and have it delivered at your resort at the time of your arrival. Again, this is
exciting. That's what it is.
Pro Wednesday.
This is exciting.
So let's dive right into it, talking about the arguably the greatest soccer team in European history, maybe even in world history.
Oh wow!
First team to ever go to 3 straight Champions League.
That's nice of you to say that.
Champions round. It's the championship round. They've won the last 2. This is Real Madrid defeated Bayern Munich. 2-2.
No-brainer. No-brainer.
They defeated them 5-4 on aggregates. Again, for those who don't know what aggregates are, it's like a culmination, of course, a cumulative score of the first 2 games that they play. So Madrid won the first game. What was it? 2-1, and this game was tied 2-2. So a very, very, very good game we saw, but we saw a dominant Real Madrid team
as always,
who's beat the French champions in PSG.
They beat the Italian champions in Juventus,
and now the German champions who have won the German league.
Countless of times.
It's impossible to tell you how many times they've really won it. They dominated that league in their existence.
And in the first show, we had a little snippet about the Champions League, but now we're going to take it a little bit further, and it's actually pretty exciting because talking about Real Madrid, they still had Gareth Bale in the bench. He did not start the game. He came in almost like about in the 80th minute, past the 80th minute, and he had a chance to score a goal. He was wide open, and he just, he could have passed it, but he wanted to be a little selfish.
There was a couple opportunities that Madrid missed. There was one with Ronaldo that he hardly ever misses.
He doesn't.
But they still, like always, they found a way to win, and they're moving on to the next round again.
Again, I'm proud of them. My team, my favorite team, and I don't want it to be biased, but you got to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
And not only that, but also, give credit to the other teams that made it this far as well. For example, a Bayern Munich, a Juventus, has a lot of talent with Dybala there from Argentina as well, which will be very fun to see him play in the World Cup. And, PSG as well, champions of France. And again, a lot of talent on these 3 teams.
And PSG right now, or at least this past year, has had the biggest budget in soccer.
Neymar.
Their best, and Mbappé. The young kid that they got from
Mbappé.
Mbappé. They got him from AS Monaco. Got him off loan. So they've spent the money. Some injuries prevented them from having the year that they wanted so far. But I think Neymar is back and he'll be playing in the World Cup. He'll be healthy and ready to go. So
he was injured. That was a breaking news for the Brazilian national team. And they were pretty scared because they were like, we can't play without our captain.
But he had a great season. Wasn't enough to beat, who's probably going to win the championship, in my opinion, in Real Madrid.
Of course.
A great year. The other semifinal game is a little more lopsided.
Yeah.
Roma took on Liverpool. Liverpool is, they're playing fantastic soccer in not only the Premier League but the Champions League as well.
Not only that, but Liverpool, they're still in it.
Yeah.
Some team, when we're talking about the Premier League in England, personally, I didn't think Liverpool would be, in the place that it's now. I would have thought Manchester City.
I think Manchester City has gotten I think they won the title right now.
They won the Premier League title, but
they could have won it a week earlier, but Liverpool ended up beating them. So
exactly.
I think they could have set the record or had it by themselves, and they tied the record. losing the previous week to Liverpool, but there's a reason they might not have won the Premier League title. There's a reason that they're about to be in the championship. They lead Roma 5-2 on aggregates, but again, Roma. I didn't feel Roma should have made it to this point. So
it should have been Liverpool against Barcelona.
Yeah.
And then that would have been, not to throw any shade against, Roma.
They've had a great year,
exactly.
And they're really surprising people. So the best of luck to them in this game coming up, but on paper it should have been Liverpool versus Barcelona with, probably I think Barcelona playing Madrid and what could be another El Clasico type game.
That would have been what all the fans wanted in Spain.
Yeah,
and
they would have probably shut the entire country
would
down.
have been shut down. Exactly.
Definitely.
East to west. I know Madrid's in the middle of the country, so if that would have happened, it would have been chaos.
In this past game, Liverpool's best player Salah actually had 2 goals to help lead the way to get to this championship. They'll play today at 2:45 Eastern time, so if you have time to tune in, please check that out. Another league, which is, I don't want to say a second-tier league. This is another very tough European competition. Not everybody can play in the Champions League, but that next group of guys who, the talent level is Champions League, they play in that next tier, the Europa League.
Yeah.
And they're also down to the Final Four. The 2 semifinal games will be held tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah, and the first game is going to be Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal, which is a Premier League and a team from La Liga. Now, I personally like both teams that are playing, together,
yes.
But with all that being said, I think Atletico Madrid is going to take the W. Antoine Griezmann being such a great player.
Yes.
Also, another one, like I said previously, is going to be very fun to watch in the World Cup, representing his country, France. And the other team, which is Salzburg and Marseille, also, I think Marseille is going to get the W. They beat Salzburg last game they played, 2-0. If Salzburg did not score once last game, I don't see them scoring once again. It'll be a blowout.
And
game.
it was a dominant performance.
Of course, yes,
definitely. And again, this is the Europa League. Those games will be taking place tomorrow. We go from soccer to America's, one of America's favorite sports. I don't want to say it's
your favorite sport.
My favorite. The NBA playoffs. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Let's jump into the East, the baby side of the conferences. The West has just been so dominant for the past 10, 15, 20 years that it's been scary. Ever since Jordan left, it's been all West. Game 1, the Sixers lost to Boston, and even without Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving, Boston is still finding a way to win.
And that was Monday. I mean, they're playing great.
Yeah.
And now Game 2 is going to be tomorrow, and that's going to be at 8:30 p.m. So that's Eastern time as well.
This is one of the first Celtics playoff teams to have 3 people score 25-plus points since, like, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, the great Celtics teams of the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. Even with guys like KG, Rondo, and Paul Pierce, they didn't accomplish this
Ray
feat.
Allen.
Terry Rozier had 29 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Jason Tatum had 28 points. He's actually the first rookie since Kobe Bryant to score 3 straight 20-point playoff games.
And that's crazy because it's been, almost 20 years since that happened?
That's great company to be in. It's a little over 20 years.
Yeah, he did it in 1999.
Yeah, it's a long time. Al Horford also had 26 points and 7 rebounds for the Celtics. Their big 3, which, that's a weird big 3 for them when they have guys like Kyrie and Gordon Hayward that's on the bench right now. But
honestly, I will tell you, the first game they came out of the season when Gordon Hayward, had that atrocious. It was not something fun to watch when that happened. It was kind of uncomfortable for the network people. But not only that, I thought they were done for. As soon as that happened, I said, well, all their hopes and dreams.
Brad Stevens, as their head coach, has done a fantastic job of holding that group together and getting them to play to their peak performance.
And not only that, the guys coming off the bench, these guys are, doing more than what they thought they were going to do.
Yeah, you have to say, next man up. Same philosophy for the 76ers.
Of course.
They are playing, they're the excitement right now, in my opinion. I was not expecting them to be this good this fast, but they made it to this next round. And, Joel Embiid had 31 points, 13 rebounds, and he's coming off an injury in the last series.
Not only that, but, again, Ben Simmons last year when he missed the whole season, they thought, wow, they flunked on that pick. They're going to have a not-so-great pick, not a great guy. And, he's proven everybody wrong this year.
He gives you 18 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds.
He's a straight Rookie of the Year for me this year.
Hands down the Rookie of the Year. He did have 7 turnovers, which,
he's
probably cost him the game. But as a young point guard, yes, he's 6'10". Yes, he can play the 3 and the 4. But more so than LeBron, who they let run the offense, Ben Simmons is a point guard who they give the ball to, and 7 turnovers as a rookie is a lot, but he'll
You're in
get
the playoffs.
He'll get better. JJ Redick, former Orlando Magic player, also had 20. In my opinion, he's the key piece for the Celtics. He's their leader. He's their three-point threat. He's a guy that stretches the defense, but he's showing these rookies how to be a professional. And, coming from Duke and being in the league, being with Doc Rivers, Chris Paul, those guys.
Not only that, but also having, playoff experience with the Magic when the Magic had their run with Dwight Howard.
Yeah, and he can show these guys how to be professionals.
Exactly.
We go to game 1 of Cleveland. LeBron's an underdog, but he found a way to get it done. 113 to 112 in overtime.
At 1 point, man.
He gives you a triple double: 26 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists.
I think the story here is with the Raptors. It was a tough loss for them at home.
Yes.
By 1 point, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, putting up 22 and 18 points each.
Yeah.
They deserve that win,
Kyle Lowry gave you 10 assists. He facilitated. He did what he could, but
double-double.
I'm a Kobe fan. I think Jordan's the greatest. LeBron just keeps doing it. No matter how, the older he gets, it's like fine wine, for real. He gets older and he gets better. He gives you a triple-double in game 1 of the second round of the playoffs. He gives you 45 points in game 7, and it comes out a couple days later to do this. LeBron he's a little engine that could. He just will not stop. He keeps going.
I mean, not only that, but if he knows and he has the mentality of a leader.
Yeah, and he has to do it right now.
He has no option.
Yeah.
He has no option. He has no other choice but to just go out there and perform into the MVP caliber type player that he is.
His body is going to have to fall off for Cleveland to lose.
Yeah, he's going to be looking like Kobe before he retired. Ice bags everywhere.
That's true. Let's go into the West Coast. Our number 1 seed, Houston, took on, number 2 in a Rookie of the Year, in my opinion, Donovan Mitchell, who had 21 points, 5 assists.
And this guy's been a breakout player for Utah.
Utah shouldn't be here. Losing Joe Johnson, losing Gordon Hayward, losing Rodney Hood, everybody that they lost, they shouldn't have made it to the playoffs, let alone beat OKC.
Yeah.
And they...
That was an upset.
That was an upset for real.
That was a real upset, with Melo, with Westbrook. Not only that, you have PG.
Yeah.
These guys are literally rain bringers.
Get it together. And, Utah played much better team defense and team ball, period, and that's how they got the win.
I agree.
But James Harden did what James Harden does, gave you 41 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. He's like LeBron, like Ben Simmons, they're walking triple doubles.
Exactly. Yeah. Literally walking triple doubles because they play no defense.
Yeah, Chris Paul gave you 17.6 assists, so he was solid in what he does. But the exciting game to me, if you saw game 1, Golden State dominated this game. It was almost a 40-point game.
Yeah, this by far was my favorite game as well. Not only that, but Curry came back.
That's the key point right there.
He made 5 threes in this game, and I feel like these 5 threes, without these 5 threes, they would have lost.
I can say that. With him coming back, it shakes up the rhythm that Golden State had been in the past couple games.
I agree.
Because you have to get him the ball. He's a 2-time MVP. He's the first ever unanimous MVP. He's led the league in three-point shooting all of these years. He's a game changer.
He's wired.
Yeah.
He's just wired.
So
he's
you have to
and it's
give
automatic.
him the opportunity to kind of get back in the flow. You're going to win this series. You're trying to get him ready for the Western Conference Finals.
And it was an average game for him. I mean, average game, scoring 28 points, 5 threes.
In only 27 minutes of action. Kevin Durant gave you 29 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
That's almost a point per minute, which is really good.
A little over, actually. And then Draymond, again, another walking triple-double, just like James Harden and Westbrook. 20 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. Klay Thompson added 10 points, for their big 4.
Yeah.
That's just absolutely fantastic basketball from these 4 guys. And, Anthony Davis doing all he can by himself. Gave you 25 points and 15 rebounds. Game 3 is going to happen, I think, in 2 days.
Yeah.
It should be 3-0 Golden State, but anything can happen. Probably won't happen. But we'll be here, and we'll give you the updates for those games coming up. For any student athlete that would like to be featured on our show, have any highlights playing in the background, send us videos at myGSPN.com.
Again, this show was brought to you by Garden Grocer. So if you're Orlando area vacation time, just go to www.gardengrocer.com to order anything that you want to eat while you're on vacation, including snacks, drinks, and even a nice family home dinner that you missed from where you're from. Again, saves you money, time, and you can eat whatever you want on vacation.
We encourage all student athletes to go to www.myGSPN.com, create a player profile, and go to our social medias, follow all of them so we can get to interacting and, get to know you guys a little bit better. We thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you on our show tomorrow.
All right, catch you later.